as you know, most people have received, addressed to resident, the census form.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And these census forms go way beyond the constitutional enumeration of the population of the United States of America.
We had somebody on YouTube ask us a question about what we thought of the census.
Well, at the federal level, the Federal House of Representatives is representative of the population. It's an apportionment of the population's representation in the House.
Right. Randy said that's all he sees.
Right, and that's all that's supposed to be. And what they've done through the Commerce Department is they try to create a tabulation of more than just the number of inhabitants in any given state. They want to know other personal questions, which they have no authority to ask. But they send this out, and they have an authority, a responsibility under the Constitution, and a limitation therein to count the number of inhabitants in America.
Right, we have to do that.
Right. That's so we can have an appropriate representation in the House. Now, what the House did, and this goes back, I think, to the early days of the 1900s, is they passed a law to limit the amount of representatives they would sit under the federal Capitol in the House of Representatives, because the original Constitution, I believe, was every 30,000 citizens in a state had a representative.
Okay.
Well, as the population of America grew from 3 million people in 1787 to 70-odd million people by 1870 to almost 100 million people by 1900, if you did it at the level of every 30,000, you'd have a House representative of 1,000 people, which may be a good idea. But the House chose in 1900, and they have, under the federal Constitution, the authority to control the size and the rules of the House.
Okay.
So they said, we will have 435 members. So what happens when you do a census, Michigan, thanks to the policies of both parties, has lost population. So there's a high probability that we'll lose one of our, if not two of our House seats in the House of Representatives because of the census and our response to the census. But the problem is it's the policies of the state government that's chased people out of Michigan.
Right.
Because why would you want to work under the current tax programs that they've increased every year since '04 to support not liberty, but the ever-demanding increasing costs of an administrative welfare state?